Hey pilots, today we are checking out the newest installment from here at RotorScale. This is the UH-60 full GPS little helicopter available here at Motion RC. For those of you that haven't checked it out, I have already done a video on the Coast Guard version of this, and James did a video on the military green version of this helicopter already. So we have those two already out, but now we have another paint job available in this really cool little line of models. These have been really popular. They are the easiest flying small helicopters out there on the market today, and we've had a lot of fun with them, but we wanted to give you the overview of the newest release and let you see kind of around this one. Now, a lot of the features of how it flies are still the same as they were in some of the other videos we've done here, but the biggest thing that's a change on this is a body update. Now, what you're going to see right out of the package is that this one is covered in scale details just like the other ones, but it also has the refueling tube up on the front that can just be popped on and popped off. It also has the missile rails and the gun attachments hanging off the bottom of these little pylons on the side of the aircraft, which actually can be keyed in and out if you want to fly with or without ordnance. Or for transportation or anything, you can just slide those on and off. Just like on the other versions of the aircraft, you also have working doors where you can pull them in and out. So if you want to fly open door versus closed door, maybe help with a little bit of cooling in the aircraft, you can fly them with them open. The other cool thing on this version is you now have a 4-bladed tail rotor, which is pretty cool looking on the back of that aircraft. Now, getting into it, the aircraft also has full suspension underneath. You can see they are actually working suspension, and it does come with an extra set of tires just in case for some reason you pop one off, lose it, however you want. There is an extra set of tires in the box. There's also an extra set of blades in case you ever were to damage or break one of your blades. You've got that right out of the box to take care of that. And of course, the biggest change on this one is that paint job. The Scorpion on the tail looks really cool. I like the gray finish around this one. And it has the same lights as you expect in the other versions of this aircraft that really pop if you want to fly this in the evening. It does come with that searchlight up on the front that's actually attached to the battery. You can pop that on and off with just by unplugging it and plugging it back in if you want to fly with or without that searchlight feature. Now, the other cool thing about this helicopter is it does come with this carrying case, which is really premium. It's going to keep your helicopter from getting damaged on the way to the field. It also holds your controller, your charger, your batteries, all your accessories for the helicopter go into this. You also get 2 stick protectors that are going to go on your transmitter whenever you're not flying. And then the charger is also going to come included in the kit. When you plug this into the wall and then set up your battery onto it, it's just going to give you 1 through 100, and that is your percentage of the battery being charged. When it gets to 100%, you're ready to go fly it. As you can see, the little charger also comes with this adapter to where if you wanted to charge this on a regular LiPo charger, you can plug the balance lead into your regular charger, and then you have the XT20 on the end of it to where you can plug that into your charger and be able to balance charge these packs. They're built into this little case to where you need this little adapter to be able to use them on a regular charger, and that's why you get that in the kit that way. Now, the little charger actually works really well. If you want to do any kind of 3S or 4S LiPo, you can just plug that balance lead right into this charger and charge any battery you want using this charger. Now, getting into fly the little helicopter, James actually covered this part in his video very well. You can do a GPS calibration or your gyro calibration if needed. You might want to do those your very first flight, and then anytime you move fields, you might want to be able to do that also. Now, I'm inside right now and I can't really show you this, but the way you do it, so if you hold the sticks into the opposite corners, just like this, that's going to put you into gyro calibration mode. The helicopter will blink on the back of it a few times, and then that will tell you that that has synced up. Now, the helicopter must be in a flat, level orientation when you do that. So make sure you have the helicopter setting there and it's already ready to go. If you hold the sticks in the opposite direction, that will put you into compass calibration. It covers this in the manual how to do it, but basically you take the helicopter, you spin it around a few times until it flashes again, then you hold it up on its nose, turn it a few times until it's calibrated again. Now, like I said, if you're always going to fly it in the same yard or wherever, you won't need to do that every time, but it's always a good idea if you're at a new location to go on and do that. So as far as actually getting in to fly the helicopter, you need to turn your transmitter on by holding the middle button. You're going to get an audible beep. Then take your helicopter, flip it over, hold the power button on the bottom of the actual battery until you hear the helicopter turn on. Set the helicopter wherever you would like it to come back and land at for your GPS return to home feature. Wherever you actually arm your helicopter at is where it's going to return to home. Let it set there. The light on the back of the helicopter will flash green as long as you have your GPS switch in GPS mode. Once it turns solid green, you know you're ready to fly. Now let's go over the top of this transmitter real quick before we take off. You have 4 buttons across the top. Figure 8 and circle mode, which is a momentary switch up and down. You have auto and manual. Auto is going to make the helicopter full GPS, whereas manual is going to turn most of that off, and you're going to be flying a helicopter just like everybody's used to in a full collective pitch. You have the danger switch next. In the unlock mode, the helicopter can run and work. You only want to hit this switch if you want the helicopter to basically turn off wherever it is and fall out of the sky. If you hit this button and you're up at altitude, you are going to damage your helicopter. This is an emergency switch, so you don't want to use that unless you're going to hit something or someone. You can hit that switch and it will kill all the power to the helicopter. The next switch over is our GPS modes. So the top one is where it has an optical sensor to kind of help it keep its altitude, but the helicopter can drift around from the wind. The middle position is GPS. That's where wherever you leave it, it's going to set there and it's not going to move unless you command inputs on the transmitter. And then the final position down is return to home. So that covers all of those. When you hit return to home, the helicopter is going to gain altitude. Then it's going to fly over to wherever it took off from and come down and land as close to that spot as possible. Return to home in this helicopter is handled in 2 different ways. If your battery gets too low, which is actually on the transmitter here, you have RX versus TX. TX is your transmitter's battery life. RX is the battery life in the helicopter. It is telemetry and it updates in real time. If you're wondering how much more flight time you have, you don't need to run a timer on this because you have telemetry. If it gets to 0, the helicopter is going to automatically put itself in return to home mode. It will fly back to wherever it took off from and land in that position. Now, if you get done flying and you want to land before then, all you have to do is flip the GPS mode switch down into the bottom position. That will put you into return to home, and the helicopter will fly back to you and try and land in front of you. Now, if for some reason the helicopter starts to miss its mark, you can always just flip that mode switch back to GPS. Wherever the helicopter is at that moment, it will stop and just set there. And you can command stick input at that point to get it away from whatever obstacle it is and go on and bring it down and land it. As far as landing the helicopter goes, it's really simple. If you're in GPS mode, you just come down with the throttle stick until it's on the ground and then hold the throttle stick all the way to the bottom until the helicopter turns off. If you are in return to home mode, the helicopter will land and automatically power down once it's on the ground. Once it's on the ground, you can also disable it by holding both sticks towards the middle and down. Or if you want to be able to stop it once it touches the ground, you can always flip it danger switch down and that will instantly kill the motors once it's on the ground. So you have a bunch of different options on how to turn the rotor off once it lands. In GPS mode, the back of the helicopter actually has an indicator light on top of it. If it's in GPS mode, that indicator will be solid green. If you are in non-GPS, I would call it maybe an acro mode, it will be red. Like I said, that's where it can drift but it will still try and hold altitude for the most part. Now, if you're flying it in GPS mode and you want to try this feature, gain a little bit of altitude. I believe it needs to be 20 meters off the ground. Flip it into figure 8 mode, and you're going to see the helicopter will actually fly a figure 8 in the sky. At any time, if it's going to run into a tree or hit a building, anything like that, all you need to do is command a little bit of input on your sticks and it's going to stop wherever it is. It'll come out of that mode. This is a momentary switch, so once you've hit it, the helicopter is going to enter that mode and continue to do it until you take it out of it. But like I said, to get it out of that, all you do is just touch the sticks and that will bring it out of it. It'll stop wherever it is. If you push the button downwards, it's going to make it fly a circle. So the helicopter will stop, gain its altitude to 20 meters, unless you're above that, and then it'll do it wherever you put it. And then it will begin to do that circle mode. Once again, if it's going to hit anything, just command some stick input and it'll stop. Now, the helicopter also has high rates and low rates. It's going to default to low rate when you take off, but if you want more bank limit angle, all you got to do is hit the H and L button down here on the bottom of the transmitter, and that's going to put you in high or low rates to be able to get more angle out of it and more speed. Well guys, this is another awesome product from here at Motion RC. I hope you decide to check it out. They'll be linked down in the description of this video. And as always, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at Motion RC. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.